Captain. I'm the board game captain.
I'm Lynn.
And today we're going to be reviewing and showing you how to play and talking about Pirate Tricks. Pirate Tricks was published by Soaring Rhino and was designed by Craig Van Ness and Jeff Van Ness. Now, this is a trick-taking and bidding game in that order for ages 10 and up, for 3 to 5 players, and listed as a 45-minute game. So I'd like to start there. Now, for ages 10 and up, I think that's actually a pretty good estimate from my perspective. As long as the person you're playing with has played basic trick-taking games, this just feels like the next step up from, say, like Spades or Hearts. Like, if you have a 10-year-old who's played Spades or Hearts on the computer, I think you could explain this to them and they'd be fine. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a little young.
Do you think it should be higher?
Yeah.
What would your estimate
say
be?
12.
Oh, so just a smidge, a couple of years. Okay, that's fair. I think it's okay at that. You think a couple more years. So now the 3 to 5 players, we tried this at different player counts, and I think this plays very well at different player counts. There's a couple of minor changes you make to scale it, but it scales very well because you remove cards the less players you have, and the more players you have, the more cards you put back in. But generally speaking, I found this enjoyable at every player count. I don't think I've noticed a difference in enjoyment. I don't even think I have a favorite player count. What about you?
No, I mean, it all plays pretty well.
Pretty well, yeah. And the 45 minutes, now that's an oddly specific amount. I hate it when they do that. I really wish more companies would do the range. But I think that's kind of...
That's for like the 5-player.
Yeah, I was going to...
It's very long.
Yeah, it's rare that you see like big overestimates. But actually, this plays a lot, especially once you've played a game or two of this, at like 2 and 3, excuse me, at 3 and 4 players, this plays a bit quicker than that. I would say up to 45 minutes is actually a good estimate for this. 45 minutes would be a long game. So let's have a look at what comes in the box. So when you open up your box of Pirate Tricks, first off, I want to talk about the artwork and the art style a little bit because it's really cool. I'm going to be talking more about that in the review. But you have your cards. Why don't you take out some of the other components here. And you have your rule book. So now the rule book is more of a pamphlet. It is a fold-out pamphlet. It is a total of about 5 pages with a page of story. And it has diagrams, which are very good. Actually, I would say this is a pretty darn well done rule book. This is a fairly easy to learn game, and the diagrams and the rules had me up and running and teaching other people to play this game in no time flat. Next, we have Lynn just pulled out. These are the screens. They all have this cool picture of a pirate-looking spaceship. I mean, it looks like a pirate sailing ship turned into a spaceship, which is pretty awesome. And instead of sails, it has like solar arrays, which I love the art style in this game. That's why I want to draw attention to it. The art on the different cards is just fantastic, and they're all that glossy finish that you like. That's your favorite style. I prefer the linen finish. That's Lynn and my constant debate. And there are some of the cards, the higher number cards are actually from the same suit will actually vary a bit, which is pretty cool. For instance, this screaming gorilla here, which is different from the normal gorilla just carrying the axe. These are really nice artwork cards. The glossy finish is lovely. The cards that give you the rules on how to score points are very clear and understandable. They're all just spell it out rather than trying to use iconography. They just tell you what they do, which I appreciate. Some of the ones that constantly use iconography, I mean, they take a while to figure them out and learn them. And then the only other components we've got is some cardboard chits. We've got ones for the coins, which if you've seen one cardboard chit, you've basically seen them all at this point. We have a starting player token, which has that awesome little illustration of the pirate spaceship on it. And we have these cards, which are for specific objectives, and they have a little token that goes on them so you can predict how many tricks you're going to take for that round. So that's all the components. We're going to go to the table and show you how to play and run you through a full third of a game. And then we're going to come right back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here we can see a three-player game of Pirate Trick setup. So to do the setup, the first thing you need to do is you need to remove certain cards from each suit depending on how many players you're playing. At a three-player game, you remove the 1 through 8 from each suit. At 4 players, you remove the 1 through 4. And at 5 players, you actually keep all of the cards in. Then every player is given a total of 12 loon. The loon are the coins here, and you hide them behind your screen because it's up to your opponents to remember how much you have spent because you use the loon 1 to bid on the different hands you're going to get, and 2, it is your final points for the end of the game. Everyone is dealt 5 cards for the starting hand, and then we deal out a number of draws based on the number of players. So in a 3-player game, we have 3 draws. Each draw has 5 cards face up, 2 cards face down, and the first draw gets the first player token, who will start off the first trick of the game. Every player also gets a bid card with a little token to mark a bid call, because there are certain scoring cards that will require you to call how many tricks you think you're going to make, and if you are accurate, you will get bonus points. Everyone also gets a screen to hide their loon behind, and then you're ready to do the setup for the start of each turn, which is to deal out the scorecards. So you flip up 1 scorecard from the capture cards, 1 from the treasure, and 2 from the recruitment. Now the recruitments are scored right after everyone bids on their hand, and the other 2 are scored after all the trick taking. We're going to show you exactly how this game plays right now. So we start off with the bidding phase. In the bidding phase, we're each going to bid on the various draws out here to add them to our hands. So we're going to start with the top one here, and we're going to decide how many coins, and we're going to secretly take them. I'll be playing both this player here and this player here, and Lynn is over there, and we're all bidding. And everybody bids 0. And the reason for that is actually pretty obvious if you know how to play this game. You see, this particular draw here is very undesirable at the moment. It has no trump cards. The red suit is always the trump suit. It also doesn't have a whole lot of cards for the extra scoring mechanisms out here. So it's not actually a very good hand. Plus, going first is actually not desirable, so nobody wanted to bid for it. So what happens is, to sweeten the pot for the next time we come around to bid to it, we add 2 loon to it. Now we're going to bid on the second draw there, and we're each grabbing some loon in our hands, and I bid 3, the second player over here bid 2, but Lynn bid 5, so we don't have to pay our money back, we 2 players here, but Lynn pays her 5 coins, her 5 loon, and she will take those 7 cards, and they are hers. So now it is between me and the other player for getting this one here, which is quite desirable because of all the trump cards. And we're going to bid and reveal. The other player beat me by 1 coin. I lose out, so the other player is going to pay their 4 loon back to the bank, and they will take all of these cards into their hand. Now, as I am the last player, I will have to take the first player token, and I will also get the 2 free loon and this entire draw for free because no one else is left to bid. Now, at this point, we are all going to choose 2 cards from our hands to discard secretly, removing from play, and we'll be right back after doing that. Okay, so we've all discarded 2 cards from our hands, face down, secretly, and now it is time to score the recruitment cards. So our 2 recruitment cards are over here, and the first one is you can get a single loon for each odd-numbered green card. You also can get 4 loon for each combination of an 18 with a different color 10 with specific combinations. It's a red 18 with a blue 10, a blue 18 with a green 10, and a green 18 with a red 10. Now, you're allowed to use the same card for each of those cards once. So in this case, I'm going to reveal to everyone that I have 3 odd-numbered greens, but do not have any of the combinations, and that will get me 3 loon.
I have 3 odd number greens for 3 loon, and I also have the red 18 and the blue 10 for 4 loon.
The last player reveals they have the green 18 and the red 10 for 4 loon, and they're going to take their 4 loon. And now we are ready for the trick-taking portion of the game. So it has to start with me, and I'm going to pick the suit of the first trick by playing a card. Now, when starting a trick, I can play a card from any suit that I want, even the trump suit. Everyone else would have to try, if able, to play from the suit that I chose. That would be the suit of the trick. So if I play, for instance, a 9 green card, everyone else has to play a green card if able. You are not allowed to play offsuit if you have any green cards left. If you have no green cards, then you could play either offsuit, playing a blue card, or the trump suit, playing a red card. Now, playing a blue card when the suit of the trick is green will always count as lower than whatever the number is on the green card because it is off suit. However, playing from the trump suit will always count as higher. Trump suit is always higher than everything else. If no cards are played off suit or trump suit, however, the trick will automatically be won by whoever has the highest number in the suit of the trick. And in this case, the second player is going to play the 18 of green, beating me out currently and currently winning the trick. However, Lynn played the 19 and took the trick. So she's going to take that over to her side of the table as her first trick, and now she will be playing the first card of the next trick. And it will again go clockwise around the table. So Lynn played the 13 of green, which is quite good. So I decided I'm going to play the 20 of green, trying to take a stab at it. But the third player says, nah, not so fast. They're out of green, and they're going to play the 12 of red, being the trump suit. They will take the trick. And then they're going to start us off on the next trick, where they are going to play the 12 of blue. Lynn played the 18 of blue, and then I will play the 20 of blue, taking this blue trick, and then I will have to start us off again. So I am going to throw out the 11 of green. Now, I am fully aware that the second player is out of green cards, but I really want to get rid of some of my own. They're going to throw out a trump card, and Lynn still has some green, so the second player will definitely take it. So now they're going to start off, and they decided they want to draw out some of the trump cards. So they're going to throw out the 14 of red. So Lynn threw out the 16 of red, and then I'm going to throw the 17 and take the trick. Then I'm going to throw the 17 of green, to which the second player here is going to throw the 11 of red, immediately trumping it. But Lynn, surprise, is out of green and has now stolen that trick. So it is her turn. She starts us off with the 18 of red. I'm going to throw the 9 of red, and then the last player is going to throw the 19 of red, taking the trick, and they're going to start us off by throwing the 17 of blue. Lynn plays the 19 of blue, and then I will throw the 13 of blue, so that will all be Lynn's, and she will start us off with the next trick. So Lynn starts us off with the 10 of blue. I'm going to throw the 16, taking a stab at it, but unfortunately, the last player is also out of blue now, and they're going to drop a 15 of red, trumping it and taking it and throwing their last card, the 20 of red, guaranteeing that they will win that trick as well. Now that we have each taken the tricks, we have to check the points here. So the Bountiful Booty point card says that if you have taken the most tricks, you get 6 loon, second most gets 4 loon, and third most gets 2 loon. Now, the player on this side has managed to take 5 tricks, while Lynn has taken 3, and I have only taken 2, which means that the player over here will get 6 loon out of that, while Lynn gets 4, and I will only get a lowly 2 loon. The other scorecard, the capture card, has to do with the most blue cards. So we're going to all reveal how many blue cards we managed to get, and we'll be right back. So we have checked how many blue cards we each got. Lynn and I each got 3, while the third player here got 4. So since they got the most blue cards, they get 5 loon. And ties are friendly in this, so we each, Lynn and I, will get 3 loon. And that's how a hand goes of pirate tricks. Now, what would happen is we'd shuffle up the deck and would deal it all out again, 5 cards to each player, and lay out the 3 draws, and we would have a new capture card, a new treasure card, and a new pair of of recruitment cards to go with. So, for instance, if we were to keep going, the next treasure card says each trick taken is worth a loon. The new capture card says Baringa Backstabbers, each green card taken is -1 loon, and the 16 of green is -4 loon, and the 14 of green is -3 loon. So this suddenly would make green a terrible thing to want to get because you'll have to pay out money for actually getting them. And our recruitment cards, which are the ones you score first after setting up your hand, are that 3 of a kind, meaning 1 each of the numbers in each color, are worth 5 loon. And the burglary card, which is you get, if you have a 12 of any color, that 12 allows you to take 2 loon from each other player. So there you have it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, welcome back. So that was how you play a game of Pirate Tricks. So now we're going to talk about some ups and downs of this game. Let's start with negatives so we can finish on positives. Do you have anything negative to say about Pirate Tricks?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that the scoring is a bit convoluted, and the constantly changing your goals throughout the game is annoying.
Now, I'm the complete opposite on this because that's actually one of my favorite parts of this game. I think the changing of the goals makes this fresh and new and interesting, whereas I wouldn't play games like Spades or Hearts anymore, find them too boring, too samey every time you play it. This keeps it fresh and interesting, so I'm going 180 degrees on you on that one. Personally, I think you're crazy on this one. I think, yeah, I'm complete opposite with you on that one. All right, any other negatives?
No.
Okay, so that's your only thing, is you think the changing the score makes it too fiddly?
Yeah,
basically?
I would basically just rather play Spades.
Okay, in that regard. Now, I don't really have any negatives that I want to address. I think the artwork is fantastic. The production is great. How about some positives from you?
It's relatively quick.
It is a quick playing game. It's very fast. Trick-taking games are generally very fast. I do really like the changing of the objectives each round. I think it keeps it fresh and interesting. And I like that they added in like a mini bidding game to get your hand to play the trick-taking game with. So it's almost like 2 games in one. Like first you do the little mini bidding game, you get the hand together of the cards that you're going to play the trick-taking game with, and then you play the trick-taking game. And the trick-taking game plays like Spades, except that what gets you the points is not just the tricks. It changes from round to round. It's often about getting either lots of tricks or the most tricks, but sometimes it's about collecting certain suits, and sometimes it's about avoiding certain suits, which can be really interesting. And I think that really makes this a fresh, new, and interesting take on trick-taking, especially adding in the whole bidding minigame. And I love that you're bidding with your points. So, like, you're giving up points that would help you win, but if they're going to be worth it to gain certain cards that'll help you win even better, then it might be really worthwhile to bid those points to get that bunch of cards. Mm-hmm. So, and I do really appreciate that. Any other thoughts you've got on Pirate Tricks?
No.
It's a fairly easy game. I do want to throw that out. It's easy to teach, easy to learn. It's just like I said, a bidding portion mixed with a trick-taking game, but with changing objectives. Mm-hmm. And that's what really sets this apart from other bidding games, is the constant changing objectives. And similar to like the classic game of Rook, how that really for me felt like Spades, but with the changing of the trump suit, keeping it a little fresher, the changing of objectives in this really is something that really clicked with me. Now, you said you'd prefer a single set of objectives for the entire game and not the changing of objectives, but I think that's a personal preference thing, because like I said, that's my favorite part of this game. Anyway, I'm going to go second. I'm going to insist you go first because I know my rating's going to be higher than yours, because I've been saying how much I enjoyed this game, whereas you're kind of not raving as much as me. So how many points are you going to give out of 10 to Pirate Tricks?
6.
6. So 6 is still positive, though. 6 means you would play it, but you kind of got to be in the mood for it. Is that about right?
Yeah.
It's about so you enjoyed it. We've played it a few times, and you've enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. You just would need to be in the mood specifically for this particular trick-taking game.
Yes.
Okay, and there's other. I guess you're saying there's other trick taking games you like better. No, actually, I'm a bit higher. I am going to give it a 7.5, and that's because I quite like this. I like this better than all classic trick taking games, and actually better than a few modern trick taking games that I've tried as well. I think Pirate Tricks is really fun. So I think the big difference on opinion, and I think this is going to be our takeaway. The big difference on opinion between the two of us is about the changing objectives from hand to hand. So if you like the idea of changing objectives from hand to hand, this is a game for you. If you're not fond of the idea of constant changing objectives from hand to hand, it might not be as much for you. But still, that being said, you still liked it enough to rate it positively. So it's not even enough for you to say totally steer clear of it. You're like, just if you like changing objectives, then I guess. So there you have it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns on Pirate Tricks or this video, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you'd like to see us do more review and tutorial videos like this one, feel free to give this a like, share it on all forms of social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And hit that little bell icon on my channel so you get alerts every time I upload a new video. And if you're in a position to help out the channel or would like to support future content, feel free to donate to my Patreon. It'll be in the description down below. And until next time, game on.